Hi, loves. So I've been working on the Orion Wars, the Mintark tragedies. The death of planets and all the beings, and what it all is boiling down to, and what I feel like I need to share now, is about the alchemy. And so my experience of being water on one of these planets, and then when the world tree was compromised, being turned into tar, is an analogy, but a truth and an experience, the same as a meditation I did with Medusa, where I freed Medusa from her monster form without asking for permission. And then afterwards I freaked out because I didn't even consider the free will involved. And then upon further meditation, realized with her aid that she had been, raped, tortured, treated badly, and literally turned into a monster against her free will in the first place. And that's an analogy for a lot of us who have incarnated what we've been through, and being turned into a monster against our will to try and protect ourselves, to try and survive. So choosing to free her from that, to free the self from that, to turn back into a probably wiser version of the maiden, gives her or us the opportunity to decide moment by moment, to follow the energy, to follow the intuition on what we need to be. So going back to the tar, water to tar, in the same vein as the Medusa story, sure, I was turned to tar through a violation, but I choose to turn myself back to water, not because the tar is wrong, it is a part of the all, but because I prefer to be water. I prefer to be clear. I prefer to be light and nourishing. There will be others who don't. And the main message that a lot of y'all aren't going to like to hear is that those of you with the head in the sand, who refuse to do your shadow work, who refuse to acknowledge that you have made mistakes, that you have been evil entities, because if you've played the hero, you've played the villain. That's how the universe works. If you refuse to acknowledge this, and you are just light, not only will you unknowingly, will your shadow come out and bite when your boundaries are crossed, because you haven't learned how to set healthy boundaries, but there will always be those who refuse to see any light in themselves. The more you hold on to this idea that you are purely magically good unicorn farting fucking rainbows, the more devils will have to hold the other. And the ironic part of it is that's you in another life. As far as I know, where I'm at this point in my evolution, we're here to alchemize. We're here to balance. It doesn't mean that I go around flying out in a range murdering people when I'm in a bad mood. That's not what I'm talking about. I just scared myself of what going on. It's about forgiveness. The violet flame has many rays, but the main ray that I've been working with for years is forgiveness. And it's not something that you can just do. I think true forgiveness is the willingness to forget, and that's hard. But no, it's all recorded. We're here for the story, right? But we can't hold on to the story. It seems like a paradox, but that's the knowing that it's recorded and that we don't have to hold on to it for that experience to have been valid, to have happened. And we don't need other people to believe us either. Actually letting go of that, letting go of the need for other people to understand you, to validate you. I mean, it's nice when it happens, but if you need that, you're enslaved to that. You're at the mercy of other people and other entities and other beings. So the self-empowerment comes from validating yourself, not in an obnoxious way. I don't know how to explain that. Words. It's about integrity of self, and of every time you fall back into your old patterns. That has been a theme that came up in the astrology over the last few weeks, where a lot of us, like, the old stuff was come back. It's like, I thought I was done with that. Are you kidding me? But to see it from an expanded view, because we did the work that we did and we healed what we healed, but when it comes back again, we're in another layer, right? We're just working through higher and higher, lower and lower, deeper and deeper. I just keep hearing alchemical and flux. Something about welding. And it comes down to this earning trust with yourself and with all of your parts. That's what the shadow work's about. Because we have shoved so many aspects of ourselves in the shadow because it's not socially appropriate, or it wasn't appropriate in our families, or people judged us, or, physical abuse, all those sort of things. The shadow's not as scary as you think it's going to be. I'm being reminded of, I think it was a show, was it Medium, or was it the other one with Jennifer Love Hewitt, where when she first encounters the spirits, they're quite scary. And then as she gets to understand them and their story, they start looking more and more healed. They start looking more and more themselves. So that's an analogy for your shadow. It can look scary to start with, but as you get to understand it, as you sit with it, and as you love it unconditionally, and as you, but not just obstinately saying, no, I love every part of myself. truly, and actually going, okay, well, I'm not being very loving to this part of myself. I forgive myself for this. I'm working on it. I promise I'm working on it. I promise I'm trying to do better to love myself and to be easy on myself. Istanbul T-Rex. Is that a band? Give yourself the grace of allowing yourself to be triggered. Give yourself the grace of allowing yourself to feel like shit sometimes. And earn that trust of self. So last night I was talking to the Galactic Federation of Light, the council, and they were saying that I would be tested, that I would be expected to hold a single frequency, and blah, blah, blah. And I thought about it for a long time, and I thought about what my shift in frequencies does as an alchemist. And I thought, I didn't just dismiss it. I thought about long and hard, and I soul searched. My going into the darkness within myself, not within practices, anything outward, I am then able to liberate. That's how I create the gold prints, the like blueprints, only they're stronger, so they're more magnetic and more available to souls. And this is a good way to find your way out, because I can't do it for them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't do it for you. We help each other out. We do healings for each other, all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, it has to be the person, the soul, who decides. So I create the template, the gold print. It's like millions of others. And then it's out there being shown the Akashic Library. But it's like a room next to the Akashic Library. So it's there, and it's available for souls who don't know how to get out, for younger souls, basically. The ones that have been stuck here for a long time. That's why we incarnated, right? To go through all the crap and to alchemize it back into love. Not to whitewash it, not to glaze over it, not to cover shit in chocolate and say that it's a lolly. It's still shit under the chocolate, right? I know that's crude. But to actually say, this is how I did it, and it's here for you if you would like the map. And it's like the analogy of walking next to them as they go through it. You know, the masters, they can hold our hand, but they can't do it for us. We have to be the ones to move our legs, to go up the mountain. And sometimes we fall down and we need a hand up. That's okay. But that's only for the souls who want to get out of the hole. That's only for the souls who would if they didn't have a broken leg. That's only for the ones who would choose if they didn't have some sort of, I'm hearing dementor, if they didn't have some sort of bug in their program of their mind. If they had a clear thought, if they had a clear mind, if they had a clear connection to their soul, what would they choose? There are those who would choose other because they're on their way down. And this is a part of the experience here, and it is a part of God, and therefore it is holy. And I hate seeing it. I hate seeing people dig themselves deeper, because I know where they're going. My soul's been there multiple times. We've all been there. If you're watching me, okay, they're saying 2%. 2% of the people watching this, the souls watching this, the embodiments watching this, are souls that haven't done this before. The rest, I'm just telling you what you already know. 555. So I've been rambling long enough. I love you. Be well, or be well in it.